Hey, Isaac. Yay,
Hey,
producing.
Bob, how's it going, sir?
How's it going,
I'm good.
man?
Thanks for joining us tonight on the game chat. We got myself, Isaac, and Ryan is on vacation. So Bob
Oh,
from One
I'm
Board Family
Ryan.
is joining us. Oh,
Yeah, I'm just a little
oh,
under the weather, so
that's
I
fair.
look like this.
Thank you
So my,
for
my voice is like 4 octaves higher, too.
yeah, it works. It's a good sound. It's a good
Yeah,
sound.
right?
Thanks for joining us. We're gonna be chatting a little bit about convention season, right? It's around the corner here. We're kicking into the summer. We had Geek Way to the West, right? Just happened this last weekend. We had some friends that were there. But today we're gonna be talking about Origins. We have a special guest with us today, don't we?
I would believe we do.
Let's
Let's bring her in.
yes, let's welcome Rachel. Rachel,
Hey,
thanks for joining us
Rachel.
today.
Hi, friends.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Awesome.
Excellent. Well, thanks for joining us as part of this convention season chat. And I think you've got some hands in some convention stuff that we'll be talking about here in a little bit.
A little bit.
So true.
A little bit.
Always
but
into trouble somewhere.
but I wanted to talk about conventions as a whole. So our opening question was: is there any convention you've ever gone to that was non-board game related? If so, what was it? And if you haven't, maybe you haven't outside of that, what would be an ideal convention for you? So, Rachel, you're a guest. Any other
Oh, so that means
conventions?
I have to go first.
Or you can,
Wow.
you can defer to Bob. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, gosh. I apparently like skipped this question in the prep. So cool. That's so sweet. Okay, well, here's my thought. I am a huge YouTube beauty addict.
Okay.
And so I think that if I was going to go to any kind of convention, I think I would go to isn't there like a YouTube con or something to that effect?
A
Where
YouTube con.
I'm
Really?
pretty sure there's something.
That-
This
that-
comes up because this weekend we actually bought a pay-per-view of Creator Clash on it was a fundraiser for the Alzheimer's Association, and it was a bunch of big YouTubers boxing.
Oh, wow.
Actually,
Oh.
Okay.
legit boxing.
Like real
And
popular streamers?
yeah,
actually
Odd
doing
Ones
stuff?
Out.
Okay.
Dr. Mike was the title fight, and
Wow.
I guess that they got sick of people making a joke out of the boxing, so they legit trained. So they were real bouts. It was pretty cool.
That's
Well,
really
that is
interesting.
now a goal in life for me. I didn't realize that was a thing, but now I need to get big enough on YouTube to actually
Mhm.
box Isaac or somebody else in for charity. So
Boxing.
Wow.
yeah,
I like it.
Board game reviewers boxing
Yeah.
channel.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm for it.
Rachel, that could be an Origins thing.
I mean, come at me, bro. Come at me.
Oh,
I got rings. I will take you out.
It's for charity. For charity, Isaac.
For charity. I mean, yeah, that's what I was
well, yeah, if
saying.
it's for charity, it's fine.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Bob, how about yourself?
So all right, we talking first convention or
Just
we talking
any
about
convention you've been to that was non-board game
non-board
related.
game related? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the oddest one I've ever been to was a reptile convention.
Ooh.
And it was by accident because we were at a convention center out in the middle of Pennsylvania. As you know, I'm originally from New Jersey,
Yep.
PA area. So we were at a convention center out in the middle of Pennsylvania, and there were two conventions that were actually coinciding together on the same day. So as we left the one convention we were there for, we looked into another huge hall, and all I saw were baby alligators and snakes and people walking around with turtles. And I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what's happening, but I got to go in here. Like, I have to see what's in here. And that's exactly what it was. It was a convention of people just having and selling weird reptiles. And we just walked around the whole time and just looked at all these cool reptiles that were for sale. Like, if you ever want to buy an alligator, that was where you could do it.
That's hilarious.
That's way cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very odd.
I can't say I've ever thought that's something I wanted to do.
Before I saw that, I wouldn't have even been able to guess that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's funny. Mine is actually similar. My parents are entrepreneurs. We've had a lot of different businesses over the years, and one of the things we had was an aquarium store, huge aquarium store, and we used to travel to Chicago every year for the U.S. Largest pet store convention. And it was the huge convention center off the airport at Chicago. And I remember like you would get anything, like you'd have every animal, fish, tanks, dog food, all the different animals, and the displays and stuff people were innovating for pet care was always interesting. And we had the aquarium store, so we were looking for the aquarium stuff. So you'd always get the samples at these conventions. So we'd come home with like tons of fish food and other weird fish stuff. So it was fun.
all right.
Did Bob eat Ryan? Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Things happen.
I told you I am Ryan. Jason, you didn't hear that, but this is Ryan. I just under the weather.
It's fair.
And I ate a whole bunch of food.
So we're talking about board game conventions, not necessarily YouTubers or snakes or fish, but
Yeah.
So in terms of board game conventions, what's the first board game convention you went to? Do you remember what year, which one? What was your first con?
Okay, so there's a regional con here called Great Plains Game Fest. I started going to that back in the day when I was a Girl Scout leader, and I was trying to talk them into letting us sell Girl Scout cookies to all the gamers, and it was a really good marketing idea. Probably one of my best.
Great marketing idea.
I'm telling you. But I would say my first industry event, that was PAX Unplugged of 2018. That was my very first voyage into the board game industry. The very first time I ever set foot on a con floor, and I knew no one.
That was the first PAX, right? The very first one.
I think it might have been the second.
I mean,
okay. I'm not entirely sure. I just knew that
it's very early. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because that's a relatively young one for sure.
For sure. Yeah, I love PAX.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, how about yourself for first?
So the same thing, PAX Unplugged.
Really?
Except oh no, wait, I'm sorry, that was my second. Origins 2019. Sorry.
Okay.
PAX Unplugged 2019 is the first time I actually met Rachel. Origins 2019 is actually the first time I met you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And that was over the Queen Games tables.
Yep. And that was my first convention. Origins 2019, and man, what a whirlwind that was, man. Yeah, like I had never seen anything like that before. I haven't been into modern board game hobbying for that long, right? So since like 2014, so it's only been about like 7 or 8 years. I grew up playing classic board games, but not what we consider the modern hobby, right? So I grew up loving board games, but I never knew anything like this existed. But then when I got thrust into this world and found it, and then I got hooked up with Ryan with One Board Family, was actually a few months after they got back from Origins 2018.
Okay.
So they were like, okay, you're with us now. You're One Board Family. Let's do this. So my next time it came up, next time it came up, 2019, I got my first Origins badge. And man, what a time that was. I had never been to a place with that many people with the collective mindset that I had, right?
Isn't that cool?
It's
like you feel like you're with your people.
Exactly. It's totally nuts, honestly, when the first time I experienced it, and even all the other times that I've been, it was just something feels right about being around that many people that talk, feel, and live the exact same thing that you do, right?
Yep.
And have the exact same passion and love for the things that you do. It's like you don't even know who to talk to when you go to around that many people, right? You're like, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. You have no idea because everybody's talking about the thing that you want to talk about,
right?
Awesome.
Right?
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
In regular day-to-day life, everyone is just like, no, I don't board games.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, board games. Like it's a thing, people.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, my son Teague is just about to turn 13. And we just went to our local Great Plains Game Festival. I help with that. And he is, oh, my cat's gonna come and hang out with me. Hi, Dennis. And we went to the convention, and my son is real quiet. He's the nerdy kid, and I love that, right? So we went to the convention, and he turned into this kid that was just super outgoing. Went into like the library, picked up a game, went and sat down. Hey, do you want to play this game with me, person I don't know? And
It's awesome.
he went up to the exhibitors and really got into their things that they were doing and interacted with them and all these things. My kiddo is ADHD on the spectrum. That does not happen.
Yeah.
And I asked him on Saturday, like we'd gone for a couple days, and I was like, "Hey, bud, what is different? Like, what is it that makes you so different at this convention?" And he's like, "Mom, I feel welcome. Like, I feel like
It's awesome.
these are my people. And
Yeah.
so I'm totally cool being completely me." And I'm
It's
just like,
comfortable.
yes,
Yeah.
it is the coolest feeling. And,
It's
as
awesome.
a mom, I'm like, dude, yes, embrace the geek heart. I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
I love
I
it.
got you.
I love
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
games are a
awesome.
big part of our families. Those of us like game sidekicks, when we're family, like we love to play with people we love, right? It's family, friends, kids. I mean, I've been going to Origins with my son since the get go. My first Origins was 2013. So
Ooh.
I'm circling real close to 10 years of Origins, and
Wow.
Wow.
I went on. We had just started kind of hobby gaming a little bit, playing Carcassonne, playing Catan, right? Some of that stuff. And we did the Sunday family day, and we drove down because we're 2.5 hours away. We're like, oh, we'll go check this out. And I remember all of us were just like, what the heck? We like sat at a table in one of the rooms, in one of the ballrooms, and just were like, what do we go do? Like, we don't know what to look at. We don't know what to talk to. Like, we don't have
You went for
these.
one day?
We went because Sunday was family day. That's that's the
Oh,
hook, right? Like,
okay.
it was
Right.
cheap.
Okay.
We could all go at the same price. And it was like, oh my gosh. And so we planned for Origins 2014. And my wife enjoyed being there. My wife loves playing board games, but she doesn't want to do like the all day, every day, multiple days. So she's like,
Yeah.
this is cool, but that was enough. So then it started being the trip that my son and I and my friend Gene and his son Josh, we've been going since 2014. We haven't missed a beat. Josh is 19 now. My son's 15. We're still going this year. And, my buddies Hank and Jason and Jason's wife Becky and their boys, they all go. And it's kind of been our thing. We got tons of friends that go that we just love to play games with. And, it's just been great. Like, Origins has been a big part of our gaming story. And, I love that we're rounding on a decade with it. It's been a lot of fun.
Awesome.
That's really cool.
Awesome.
I got my Origin shirt today too on.
Yay!
Nice.
I love it. There's some
I
really good ones this year too. They're gonna have a zip up hoodie that's gonna be really sweet.
Oh, Bob and I love our
Nice.
zip up
And we love
hoodies.
zip up hoodies. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I get them at PAX every time.
Yep. Yeah, we
Mhm.
got some good ones at PAX. Speaking
Yeah.
of PAX, speaking of Origins, food is such a huge part of these conventions. I constantly am doing this, like, is it Columbus or is it Philly? And I think they're like here, they're equal, but like tell me a good food, a memorable food at one of these cons that you've had that you're like, I can't wait to sink my teeth into that again.
Yeah. Well, you got gosh, why am I blanking on? It's like the North Market, right?
Oh yeah, North Market.
I
Yep.
mean, if you are at Origins, you have to go there.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah.
no doubt.
you walk right in.
Yeah.
There's everything you could
It's right
possibly
in your
want.
face too. You can't
Mhm.
miss it, right?
Absolutely. And of
Yeah.
course, you got to get Jenny's ice cream.
Oh,
I mean,
always.
that is the core food of all Origins. At one point, I think that Julie was trying to like mention it enough that maybe we could get Jenny's to sponsor us on You're Invited
Oh
at one
man,
point.
that'd
Like,
be
if we talk
amazing.
about it enough, maybe they'll hook us up with some. We just want ice cream. Like, we don't
Yeah.
need money. Just give us
Any way
ice
you can
cream.
get free ice cream is a good way to do
Right?
business,
Right.
right?
It's
Yeah.
always good business.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, North Market is always, and there's nothing bad at North Market. Like, everything I've always
No.
had has been
No.
amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I did
Bob,
find a bagel place down. I don't even know what street it was. I just was like running around, like looking.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Like, there's a bagel place. It was amazing.
Bob, you and I have hit up some places the last couple
We
years.
have been to some places, man. I think for me, I love North Terminal Market, or North Terminal. I think is it called North Terminal Market?
North Terminal. I think it's
North
just North
Terminal.
Terminal. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm blending the two. However, like I said, I grew up right across the street, right down the street from Reading Terminal Market.
Yep.
So I lean towards that, and I lean towards Philly food more just because it's like the taste of home for me. Like, I love North Terminal and all the food that's in there. It's
North Market.
phenomenal.
I'm sorry. Yes, North Market.
North Market. I
Yes.
love it. But for me, it's Reading Terminal Market, and it's all the places around there, and some places that I didn't even know about. That pizza place that you and I discovered on 15th
Yep.
Street, Isaac.
That was something else.
Oh my goodness, Alice Pizza, it's called. It's on 15th Street in Philly. It was right across from our hotel. What was that hotel we stayed at, Isaac?
Cambria.
Cambria.
Yeah.
It's about 3 blocks from the convention center. There's a place called
So
Alice
good.
Pizza. Oh my goodness, I could have ate every slice. So it's a place you walk in. And you're gonna get me started on food. You walk into this joint, and it's like pan pizza, like big pans. So it's all laid out, the different styles, like in the counter, like the deli counter. And you just pick which kind of pie that you want. And they have all kinds of different kinds, like, and with crazy stuff on, like eggplant, zucchini, different kinds of like
all
cheese,
fresh stuff,
like all fresh
pestos.
stuff, pestos, crazy stuff, right? And they have these great combinations. You just go by and you say, I want a little bit of that. And you literally say a little bit of that too, because there's no measure for the slice. They just start taking the wheel, and they're like, more, and you're like, yep, keep going, and they just keep pushing the wheel along, like, okay, that's how big your slice is gonna be, bro. You know. But
So
man, my goodness, I will never forget the taste of that pizza. I think about it constantly. Yeah. So I think, and then inside Reading Terminal Market itself, all the mom and pop and local food that's in there is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yep.
And I think to the point where, um, if you think about it, at least in my circle and with us, conventions, board gaming conventions, are about 2 things. It's 2 major things, right? It's what game are you playing, and then where are you eating?
We're eating.
Yep. So
the food's key.
I personally haven't met anyone who is actively reporting or doing any media about or around the food that is at and available at conventions. So I think the next major convention that I go to, I'm going to dedicate a whole bunch of my time to filming TikTok videos based around where you go to eat at the board game convention. I'm gonna hook the gaming and the food in together, right? Because it's as important as the gaming. It's like, that's a big thing with people. Like, okay, great, I'm glad we're playing these games, but now I'm hungry. Where are we eating, right?
Yeah, it's such a huge part of the experience. I mean, I love the both markets. I love the broccoli rabe and the pork at North Market. Like, I think my favorite place though in Origins, we stumbled on accidentally, Gene and I with our boys a couple of years ago, and we make it a pilgrimage every year. It's the Eagle. Like, the Eagle is the jam there. Like, if you've never been, don't go, so I have a seat, but do check it out. It's great. It's down on Short North. It's an old like VFW hall, and they do fried chicken and all the fixins, and it is amazing food. So good. But there's a lot of good.
I'm like, I have been doing some research while you guys are chatting.
Okay.
Because you started saying things and it started just jogging memories, and I was like, there's
looking for a restaurant.
There's a thing I know. What is the thing I know? And I started like going through texts. I started going through Facebook messages. Like, who told me about this? There is a hidden speakeasy.
Oh.
Like So like you go in to, you said pizza, and I was like, oh, what is it? Did I know about the pizza place? Late Night Slice.
Yeah. Right
You
across the
go to
street, right?
yeah. So
Yep.
Late Night Slice, you go in, like you go down the hallway, and it looks like there's like a deep freeze, like freezer thing. Just past that, there's a door. You open it, is this big, huge speakeasy that nobody knows about.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
I had no
Yeah.
It looks like I might be exploring that this year.
Yeah,
I
wow.
I
Have to check
know.
that out.
It's called Late Night Slice?
Yeah, it's right
Late Night
across from
Slice.
the hall from
Oh,
from
I've
the
never
convention
seen it.
center.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah, they
Plus they have
that's
really good pizza.
they do.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
somebody was getting it last year because it had that funky art on the box, and it was good pizza, like regular pizza with meat and cheese and sauce, not like just sauce and bread on it, Bob.
We're gonna go into
Mhm.
that, right?
No, we don't have to.
We're gonna
Also, Philly cheesesteaks. The Philly cheesesteaks you took us to in Philly. What was the one you took us to?
I took you to Jim's on South.
Jim's on South. This
Yeah.
is so good.
Yeah, so
So
Jim's
good.
on South is really good. Their cheesesteaks, not the best in Philly.
Mhm.
However,
But it was good.
if it's the closest to the convention center, that is the best. We have to travel a little further in Philly to do that, but that's just like out of the way and stuff, you know. But I wanted to take you off, guess what do you call off campus,
We were
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
off
off
site,
campus.
off site. I wanted to
That's
take you off
perfect.
site to a place that we grew up, going down South Street. Because growing up, that's where we would go. You go and hang on South Street. You just walk up and down, all there, hitting all the places of record shops, everything else that's up there,
It's awesome.
and always get a cheesesteak at Jim's on South. So, yep.
See, when
Awesome.
we were gonna go to PAX, I reached out to Michael Petrie from Pentry
Ah,
Games.
yeah.
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
They're
knows.
locals,
Michael knows.
and I was like, okay, I want the most legit Philly cheesesteak there is. I don't want you to send me to all of the ones that everybody goes to and everybody knows about.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, absolutely, hands down, go to Cleaver's.
Ah, Cleaver's. Okay. All right.
Every year we go to
Yeah.
Cleaver's. We get the
Yeah.
Cheese Whiz one and all the,
Mhm.
Yep,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah, Cleaver's is good too. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a hot topic in Philly. Like,
Oh, I
who's
bet.
who's got the
Yeah.
best cheesesteak? But
Jazz
everybody
had some
from that
opinions too.
area knows where not to go.
Yeah, you definitely
Fair.
said that was a thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so we could spend all day with Bob
yeah,
talking
On
about
food.
food, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna move on to our next question. So think of a game. Has there been like a hit game at a con that you played and you were just surprised? Maybe it wasn't even on your radar in a con. You came in and you're like, oh my gosh, this game is my jam. Like I can almost think of one every convention I've been to.
Mhm.
But like what game stands out for you as a game that was like a hot con game that you discovered?
Well, I absolutely never have time to play a game at a con.
That's
And
fair.
that makes me super sad.
Yeah,
Like
that's
everybody's like, what are your favorite, like one of the questions that you were giving me, like top 5 games that we were going to get to play at a con. I'm like, I can probably think of 4 that I've gotten to play at a con in
Ugh,
all the cons that I've gone
that's
to. So I've
rough.
really tried.
Yeah.
But when you phrase it that way, absolutely, Origins 2019, I was shocked by Shobu.
Ah, yes.
Shobu blew my
Yes.
mind, and
Yes.
I was walking by, and I didn't really even know Kurt yet. I didn't know John yet. Now I love that whole booth. Like I know
Yep.
all of them. I say hi to all of them. And John sat down and he demoed it with me, and I felt my brain stretching. I was like, this is so cool. And Shobu has now become my all-time favorite game.
It's a solid pick.
Yeah.
It's just like a sexier version of chess,
Yeah.
Like
I
it
love
is
it.
super sleek, really
to the point.
elegant. I love how organic the pieces are. You've got rock
Yep.
and wood and rope, and it's just hot.
It's
But
one of those games. It's one of those games, and you guys probably do this too. It's one of those games where when you're done playing it, you're like, why didn't I think of that?
Yep.
Like,
yeah,
you're like,
Yep.
that's so simple yet so strategically deep. Like,
yes.
how did I not think to put those things on the thing? And like, how did I not think of that?
And I love being able
100%.
to teach it so easily because it's
Yep.
one page of rules. It's just like,
Yep.
here, now you simple to teach, impossible to master. And
Yeah.
I absolutely love
That's
that.
literally the words that Kurt used when he introduced me to the game at 2019 Origins, because it's the same time I
Mhm.
discovered it. I didn't know what it was. I didn't even know it was so early on. I didn't even know who Smirking Dagger was.
Yeah.
I had no clue. They had just had a little corner, little end
Mhm.
booth. I
Yep.
walked by, and Kurt actually reached down to me. He's like, "Hey," and I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And because I had the camera, and I'm looking at
It's so
stuff and
great.
panning,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Do you want to sit down and check this out?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, like let's do it." And
Mhm.
he walked me through, and the same thing, Rachel. My mind was
Yeah.
just like, boom. And I
Right?
was like, what is this? And immediately was like, okay, Kurt, can you run that back for me? I'm going to film you. Can you explain what this is and how it works? So we got a
Mhm.
really cool video of it. But man, I picked it up immediately and actually taught it to Isaac that
Yep.
night.
I
It was like
remember.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, it was a late
Mhm.
night game for
Mhm.
us.
Well, and I
Uh,
was just so in love with it. I came home from that con, and
Rocks.
I, showed my husband. My husband's a woodworker, and
Oh, nice.
he went through and recreated it.
oh, nice.
He built me an heirloom copy of Shobu out of, like,
Nice.
cool rosewood. He layered different woods so that, like, the dark ones are over a light one so that you see the lines really well and
Oh,
vice
wow.
versa. It's gorgeous, and he made me a box that he lined with velvet to put it in and have, like, these really cool
Wow.
wood pieces. I'm gonna have to send you guys pictures.
Yeah,
It is
for
Yeah.
real. Definitely
Okay.
do. That's
I brought
awesome.
it to PAX 2019 to show Kurt, and he
That's
was just
Nice.
like,
amazing.
"Oh my
That
gosh,
That's
it's
sounds.
awesome.
gorgeous."
That's great.
That's awesome.
How about you guys?
Bob, what game has been a
So,
discovery other than Shobu for you?
yeah. So when I saw this question, I actually didn't think in terms of newness or
Mhm.
hotness. I just kind of was an all-encompassing, like, is there something that I discovered one time at a con that just was like I was completely shocked. And honestly, it was a game that you actually introduced me to. And at first, when I looked at it, I was like, okay, this is me being judgmental right off the bat, and because it's you, so I don't care. I was like, what is this junk Isaac's gonna show me? It's probably garbage. Uh,
Wow.
and it was a big giant yellow wheel,
Yep.
and I was like, what is this thing, dude? And that's Hamster Roll,
Yep.
and I never heard of this game ever, and it looks weird, and I played it and I couldn't stop playing it. It's dexterity, if you don't know, Rachel.
Uh-huh.
And it's a big giant yellow wheel. Yeah, he's probably got it right there.
It's my number 5, so I'll just come out
Oh, is
right
it?
here with it. Is
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
hamster
Yeah.
roll.
I was like, what
Yep.
is that? Like some weird crown or something? Like, like I didn't know what it was, right? So I started playing this thing, and you literally the wheel, as you take like different shapes and pile it in the inside of that wheel, it turns the wheel. So the wheel moves along the table, and as the wheel is moving along the table, you're having to pile your piece on the next shelf inside the wheel,
It's a
and
giant
like
wheel
have it
too.
not fall as the wheel is slowly teetering towards one side, right?
You got these
So
little
like
pieces.
I started playing this game, and I was like, and my piece would fall. I'm like, no, we're do it again. And I would pick my piece back up. I'm like, I got it this time. I got it this time. So it brought out this really competitive, like, no, I will conquer this wheel. You know what I mean? Like, and I
And
was completely shocked at that game. I don't even know where to get it. I have no idea how you buy it.
it's right here.
It's right
That's how you
there. I
get it.
understand that, but
This was on my wish list for a long time. Somebody on the Board Game Spotlight Christmas Secret Santa bought it for me. It's German import. Like, it was one I'd always had my eye on, and I love it. But yeah, at Origins last year, I set it on the table, and everybody was like waiting for a chance to play it. Like, it was just it was definitely a hot game. I think for me, my my surprise was actually, so that 2014 Origins, I was only playing like 6 games maybe, right? Like you weren't like you just didn't have like a ton of games you'd been exposed to. And one of them, I was a big Munchkin player. That was a lot of what we played with a lot of young college guys. And so I hung out Steve Jackson Games booth, and this guy was like, do you want to try this game? I was like, sure. And it was the game Revolution. Revolution is a super solid game that I'd never heard of, and it's got a ton of play. They're actually bring it back in to publishing here in the near future with, I think, Warhammer, I think is the IP they're using. But it's super fun game. We sat down, 3 of us were playing it. This little girl, couldn't have been more than like 10 or 12 years old, walks up. She's watching us play. She's like, do you like this game? And I look over and I'm like, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. My other buddy Chad was like, I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure it out. And and she goes, my daddy made this game. You better like it. And we're like, whoa. and the look, and
Nice.
the dad was back. He was watching us play the game, right? Like just kind of taking in the experience, which as a designer, I feel like I would do all the time, like just to see how people react.
Oh, yeah.
And he like rushes over. He's like, I'm so sorry. She's like, da da da. And I'm like, no, it's awesome. And I think it was at that moment that I realized, like, oh, the designers are here. Like the and you start like exploring, like the people that make these games I love are just people who love to play the games also, and you get to know them and meet them. And that's one of my favorite things of the conventions is just chatting with people that are industry people, right? Whether they're making the games, publishing the games, and realizing they love this just as much as the person playing it on Thursday night with all their buddies, right?
Yeah. Yep.
My kids have totally done that, by the way. Like playing Mintworks, and they're like, "You like it? Do you like it?"
Defending you. Like, you better say you like it.
Yes.
So I was looking at the exhibitor list, Origins 2022. A lot of good companies. It got me thinking about, like, are there any like companies that you're like, their display is usually like you gravitate towards it? You're like, oh, I love seeing what these guys put out. I love maybe the people working it, the decoration, something they do that makes them kind of stand out.
Ooh, I mean, instantly it's Arcane Wonders.
Yep.
I mean, Robert put so much work into the presentation of his booth. I remember I heard that, I think it was Gen Con maybe, that he was changing the sidewalls of his booth per day based on like the products to make sure he cycled through everything. I'm like, rebuilding a booth every day? Really? And then he had they were debuting Furnace, and so he had a miniature train set up going around, and then they always have, like, when they have picture perfect, they have someone who's dressed in the yellow dress and everything, like running the demos. It's just so immersive. Like, he just does such a good job with it.
Oh yeah, 100%. That was high on my list also of people doing amazing stuff. Bob, what about yourself? Anybody that stands out from your end?
So one of the booths that stands out every time I go to these conventions is Cephalofair. Like, the stuff, the interactive things that they do at their booth with the picture taking and the cosplay.
Oh yeah, Monica.
Yeah, it's pretty above, but I mean that's those games too, right?
Yeah.
It's visual. It's so much visual, right? Art, everything has to go into that to draw you in to experience those tabletop games, right? So every time I pass by there, I just can't help but look at the mountain ranges and the the Vikings or whatever else they're dressed up as, the characters from Frosthaven and Gloomhaven and all that stuff. It's always, I don't spend a lot of time over there, but like I pass by it a lot, and it's just I'm always like my eyes drawn right to it, so.
Yeah, that was a similar, like, and I think I've seen more at PAX, is the Exploding Kittens group. Like, they do some fun stuff.
I've never seen that vending machine, and I want to see it.
Yeah, it's at PAX. It wasn't this last time we went, but the previous year it was there. And it was that giant cat. You hit the $1, $5, $10 gives you the, and I think we stood there and watched it one time for like 30 minutes to see the random stuff that was coming out of the vending machine.
I've only seen
Uh,
pictures and videos. I've never
Yeah.
seen it in real life.
Yeah, it was fun. And again, it's not a booth that I'm personally going to hang out at, but it was fun and it draws the
Mhm.
crowd in, right? And
Yeah.
it's such a great, like, especially at PAX, because you've got that crossover video game crowd who are like, oh, that looks cool, I'm gonna go check that out, right? So
Right.
they do some cool stuff with that.
Yep. Yep.
But we're not talking PAX, we are talking Origins Game Fair
Ooh, I know that thing.
2022. So we wanted to give you a few minutes, Rachel, kind of tell people maybe that are watching this with us and going like, wait, is Origins coming up soon? I thought it was in the fall. It's not in the fall
Nope.
this year. It is
Nope.
back to the
Nope.
summer. So when can we expect Origins to be coming up here soon?
And I've been in the industry in so many different capacities. Like, I should probably be like, hey, so I work for GAMA and GAMA runs Origins. Nobody really thinks about that,
It's fair.
especially from the consumer side. So GAMA runs Origins. I work for GAMA, and so my job has been, as people have been getting all of those nice newsletters every week. That's me. Anytime, like, anything that's a splash up on social media, that's me and Greg. Like, we're working really hard to get everybody well informed about what is coming for Origins.
And
I
we
have a few
appreciate
things.
that.
Oh,
Yes. Yep.
We very much appreciate that.
yay!
Yeah.
Yeah, we have some really cool things happening. First of all, not very many people know that Origins isn't just like Origins has a convention within it. There is a smaller convention that we partnered with that is a video game convention called GDEX.
Mm.
And the way that we structured the badges this year, it's all in one. You do not have to a la carte anything. You're able to go and
Awesome.
check out the GDEX everything. Like, if you wanted to go to a panel about video game creation or something to that effect, or if you wanted to go check out the exhibitors that are GDEX related, it's all included. They also have cool special guests that they have going on. And with our special guests, I don't know, did you guys see like who our special guests are for Origins?
I've definitely seen some of them come. I think that last newsletter you highlighted some of them, didn't you?
We've had a lot to talk about in the newsletters because we've got so many. We've got our headliners are Satine Phoenix and her
Right.
new
Oh,
husband,
her new
Jameson Stone.
husband. Yeah.
Yep. And they're going to be running events.
Oh
They're
wow.
yeah. Satine's gonna DM some stuff. She's gonna be running Satine's Quest. They're gonna be streaming. Lots of cool stuff that she's doing. Then we've got an author, super awesome, Kat Rambo, which just saying her name is the coolest thing ever.
That is a
Kat
pretty
Rambo.
awesome name.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm like,
Yeah.
cool. Can I change my name to Kat Rambo? Because that is so cool.
Yeah.
And then and we have the coolest looking cosplay guest. His name is Michael Wilson. He goes by Night Mage.
Yes, I did see
Dude,
that. He's got
yes,
some sweet
dude,
stuff.
he is so cool. He is a sheriff in Ohio, but
Wow.
does these amazing, I mean, he's big buff guy and he can do all of these cool outfits. Like, I think he did a gargoyle. Like,
Yes. And the
does
Martian Manhunter one I saw, that one was
yes,
awesome.
so
Yeah.
cool.
Dude's a beast.
So cannot
Wow.
wait. He's gonna be one of the cosplay judges, and so are Satine and Jameson. And
Nice.
Monica, who does the cosplay for Cephalofair, she's going to be the MC.
Nice.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
And this year they're actually going to do a full parade. Usually it's just like held in a certain area, but now they're going to meet up on one side of the convention center and then walk the full concourse
Oh
to
wow,
kind of
that's
show
awesome.
everybody. That'll be really cool. Another one, Rather Dashing Games, has a new game coming out that is Coyote Peterson themed, which he is a YouTuber that has almost 20 million subs, and
Wow.
the name of his channel is Brave Wilderness. It is one of those wilderness type channels, and they are making a game with him, and so he's coming to sign those and
awesome.
participate in other different things.
Nice.
That's a really cool one. I think the newsletter tomorrow is going to have a little bit about him in there. Again, cosplay. Again, lots of games. Really cool craft workshops, like learning how to make swords, learning how to make shields. There's this is the first year that they're going to have something called Origins TV.
Okay.
They're doing a live stream throughout the whole time.
Nice. You'll be able to watch from home if you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
wow.
Make it. That's great.
And we're even
Crazy.
partnering with some of the sports bars around, like, right outside the convention center to put it up on their TVs. and
Oh
stuff.
wow.
That's awesome.
So
you don't miss a beat.
welcome to the
Yeah.
nerds. And I think that's going to be really cool. We have two hosts, B Zelda, who does our Origins spotlight every Tuesday, and they tell you, different cool stuff about Origins every Tuesday there on our YouTube channel. And then Stephen Bonacore is going to be our other host, and
Nice.
they're going to have some really cool segments. B is going to be going to a lot of demos, showing off all the new hottest games. And Stephen is going to do some industry talk. He's going to talk to the big sponsors, like, hey, what's the state of the industry from your perspective? He's going to do some, call it like behind the games. And then we're also doing a segment called Back Row, because when you're in the exhibit hall, you've got these big, beautiful booths, right? Do you ever always get to the back row to those new indie pubs that are just trying to get in there and meet people? And we're going to highlight the back row.
Nice.
That's awesome. So you get to kind of get a peek around the whole convention center.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I'm personally working really hard on the official app. If you, it's going to be in the newsletter tomorrow. We're trying to get it all ready to launch. It is pulling all of the events into there, so you can scroll through them there to see the agenda. We're going to have selfie cams so that you can take a picture of yourself with the Origins logo, or with the crit ears, or all sorts of fun stuff.
Could get the full ears.
Yep, yeah. You'll be able to have all the exhibitors at your fingertips. The site book is on there, so if you lose that or forget it back at your hotel, it's on your phone. You can send messages to people if you meet somebody and you're playing a game, and you guys want to connect later to play another game. You can send them a message on the app. Look up their name and stuff. It's really very cool for that. And just looking forward to having such a cool tool.
That's awesome. Yeah, it sounds like there's some cool, neat new features. I'm excited to see. And the GDEX thing was kind of cool because last year was the first year for that, right? So now we get to kind of see how that continues to bloom. And I know, especially I had some younger gamers, right, with like my son who loves some of that stuff, and it was neat for him to be able to see a little bit of both worlds out there. So that's awesome.
Very, very cool. I love it.
And the theme this year is the art of games, correct?
That's correct.
So I
think we have like 4 Magic the Gathering artists that are going to be in Artist Alley.
Wow, that's awesome.
A lot of really cool art going on. It's beautiful.
I love it.
That's awesome.
That's one of my favorite things about a good board or a good comic book convention is just getting to see the artists and get to see, and what a great opportunity to get art from like legit artists right there in front of you. So it's awesome.
Yep.
And when you meet them, you want to support them. You're like you have a connection, and you're like, oh, this is not just some nameless person now, or faceless person.
You drew the thing in my favorite game.
Yes, exactly.
You made this.
Yep.
So we're going to talk our top 5. We like to always kind of round off with a top 5 count. Nothing too detailed, but we said top 5 games to play at a convention. Now, maybe not the games that you play all the time, and maybe not like the definitive list, but like at a convention, you'd say, hey, this is a good game you should try out. this is one maybe that you see people playing. I've kind of got a wide variety here. I know Bob does as well.
I
But
actually made my list as we were talking, so I'm good
Nice.
now. I got all
Nice.
5.
perfect. Well, how
Nice.
about and in no particular order,
Yeah.
just 5 good suggestions. So Rachel, if you'd like, please go ahead and start us off with one of those 5.
Bezier's Cabo.
Wow.
That is so fun to just throw down on the table and then just try to mess with each other. Like you end up with 4 spots that you're trying to get the lowest cards, the lowest numbers of cards, and everything's face down in front of you and you don't know what's in front of you. And once you figure out what you have, you yell Cabo, and if they don't have the lowest number in front of them, then you super easy, fast, played it at bars while I'm at meetups, things like that.
I've
I'm
not
pretty
played
sure
that.
it's great.
So I think was it Cabo the pre-implementation of Silver?
Correct.
Yes. Okay. So if you've played Silver, Isaac, you've played
I
something
haven't-
very similar. Okay.
I
Well,
haven't played
Yep,
that
then I
either.
can't help you.
Yeah.
I,
Sorry.
So I have a Amazon tab open for this show, and I keep adding to my like need to buy list.
Nice.
This list has gotten stupid over the
Yeah.
last like year we've been doing this show, but
Yeah.
I'm adding it right now. It looks great. $10.
Yeah.
That's all day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
card game.
It's great.
I have Cabo. I do not have a copy of Silver. Yeah.
Okay.
But I originally learned Cabo, and I really like that game, Rachel. I totally agree
Yeah.
with you. Great.
Awesome.
Yep.
Bob, what's one of your 5?
So I'm going to talk about. So in no particular order, we're doing this.
Yeah,
top
no
to bottom,
particular
bottom to top,
Yeah.
No particular
Yep.
order. All right.
Just throw one
So
out.
I'm going to talk about one that I've been playing for like the last month now, and so I actually haven't taken it to any conventions yet, but it is going to all conventions in the future with me, and that is Scout, which is a
I want to
brand-
play that.
Oh, Rachel, it is
Someday.
so good.
Kidsplaining brought it to Game Fest a couple weeks
Allison
ago.
and yeah.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
didn't get time to play it.
This is a ladder climbing game. So a la Delt or Ladder 29, you're using that
Right.
same type of taking cards out of your hand, beating cards, pairs, singles, 3 of a kind, whatever gets put down on the table to try to shed every card out of your hand. And man, is this good, dude. And tiniest box in the world. It's from Oink. I love
perfect.
Oink Games. Fake
Yep.
Artist Goes to New York, Deep Sea Diver, all that stuff. And now
Solid
they have
games.
this Scout. This is never leaving my bag. It will go to every convention. It hasn't left my bag in a month. And it will go to every convention in the future because this is so easy to get down onto the table and to play.
I love
And
it.
that's what a lot of my games here are going to be about. It's about footprint, portability, and
Yep.
replayability is when it comes to cons for me. So
sure.
Scout, get it.
I'll throw
Yep.
my first one out as the one we already talked about. It's Hamster Roll. It's good fun, dexterity. It's the fact that this thing sits up on the table is what makes anything that comes off the table people are gonna see, right? And like that's like the eyes drawn to this game, right? And I actually thought about adding Drop It to this list because Drop It fits the same type of thing where people see
So
Drop
many
It and they're
people
like,
ask about that game.
I
when it's
gotta
on the table,
play that
dude.
game. What's going on, right? So
Mhm,
Hamster
mhm.
Roll,
Yeah.
Drop It, fun little easy dexterity games.
Same
that-
thing, yeah.
that,
People
yeah,
see it
have
on
a-
the table, they walk over and they're like,
for
I
sure.
saw this from
Sad.
5 tables away. Like,
Right.
what is this?
Which makes me think I need something that's just like one of those like wiggly arm guys, right? That's just a game that goes 10 feet up in the air.
Oh man.
Exactly.
Rachel, next one. What do you got?
Let's see. Another easy one. Just One. I mean, it won Spiel a couple years ago. It is super easy to throw down and have a bunch of inside jokes with people that you don't know instantly.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yep,
So
Yep.
good.
I love it. Yeah, there's so many of those party games that I feel like they get like super hot, and then we kind of move on to the next one. But
Right.
Just One is it's a classic, right?
Yep.
It's definitely an evergreen,
It's
I
gonna be
think.
around. Yeah,
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
not going anywhere.
Yep.
Bob, yourself.
So next, I'm gonna talk about, and I probably talk about this game too much, and you talk about it too now,
I
Isaac,
do
a
talk about it a
lot,
lot,
and I
a
know
lot,
it's
a
on
lot.
your list, and I
Ooh.
know
I
we agree.
replaced it.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, because I
So
knew you had it.
we talked about. So yeah, this is another one, just like with Scout. However, this has been in my bag for 3 years. This is an old game by Freeman Freeze called Fujiflush, and this is another card shedding game. It's like, oh man, what would you call this, Isaac? What is the
Um,
mechanic of
I mean,
follow or
yeah, to follow the leader
follow
card
the
shedder.
leader? Yeah. Yeah, it's
I
just it's just really
it's
good. You get a set amount of cards, and what it induces is it induces teamwork, but like a kind of like a restrictive teamwork where you want to be on other people's teams by putting cards down that match their cards, but then in doing so you're also helping them do good.
yes.
So it's that balance of trying to help them, but not enough to where you're going to
Yep.
lose, right? So it induces a lot of cross table talk.
Yep.
Mhm.
It gets everybody in the game a lot of like camaraderie, right? So you feel
Oh yeah.
close. I love
Oh
those
yeah.
kind of games where it brings everybody in close together. Everybody's laughing. Everybody's not paying attention to anything else except just what's going on the table, right?
Huge
And
swing
Fuji
on player count
Flush,
too, which is
yeah.
nice.
And that's
Mhm.
another thing. It's 8, up to 8,
Yeah,
and it
2 to 8.
plays
Nice.
rocking at 8 too.
Yep.
So sometimes games that play that high, they suffer a little from extra extended player count. But man, this one, no problem. It goes
Yeah,
to every con with me.
it's been out of print for a little bit, and every time it shows up on eBay or something, it gets snatched up super quick because Bob
Yeah,
has
you're probably
introduced
buying
it
them. You're
to too
probably
many
buying them,
different
dude.
people. We had a cool
Uh,
story with it. Rachel, I had a buddy who went to I shared this recently, so Bob knows it, but went to Germany, was on a mission trip and took that with him and got to play it with people who only spoke German, with
Mhm.
some Afghani refugees and some Ukrainian refugees. And they all sat around the
Wow.
table, did not share a common language amongst those four, and had 8 players, and they were able to, get the understanding of the numbers, get the like how
Wow.
it was working. And he said he said it was no different than we played it, where there was a lot of like, no, like, just they picked up on it and
yeah,
just
That's
like
super
fell in love with
awesome.
it.
language independent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
it
great.
was awesome.
Yep.
My
That's really
next one I'm
special.
gonna share is one that I smashed together 2 copies. So I had a 12-player version of Super Mega Lucky Box.
Yes.
I ran this like I was running bingo at Origins last year.
Was so great.
Mhm.
They were getting ready to kick us out of the hall. Right, it was like 12:45,
Right?
and I got this out, and we had 12 players ready to play. And I'm like, everybody grab a board. Here we go. And I just started calling numbers off. Right, like 5, 7,
Mhm.
go, go, go.
Mhm.
Poor who was it?
There were so
Uh,
many people, man. It was
there's Luna
Luna. Luna was
Luna that
with
was
us.
struggling. She's like, slow down, slow down, slow
Yeah,
down. And
yeah. It
but
was Luna and
we had the
uh
Love Thy Nerd guys, and
yes, the
yeah,
the yeah,
we had a good
LTN
crew.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, bunch
but
of people.
it
It's
was fun.
hilarious.
Like it's a quick, easy game. It's a fun roll and write, right? It's a game right game. If it says game right at the top, it's probably going to be a good one for this list also.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's quick, easy, lots of fun, lots of
Nice.
silliness. That's on mine. Third one, Rachel. What do you got?
Well, you know what? I mean, I have ones that I've played, but I haven't been able to play this one, but I've always wanted to.
Okay.
Apparently kind of like Scout, and it's really hard to play it unless you're at a convention.
Mhm.
But Captain Sonar.
Oh yeah, good pick.
Oh, okay.
I
Good
think
pick.
that one looks so cool, and I've never been able to do it, and I think and that's really the only time where you can get that many people together. So, like
I've played it one time, and it was fun. It was very fun, but
Mhm.
it for me it was a little chaotic, and
Oh, it's lots of
I
chaos.
think that's part of the draw of the
Yeah,
game too,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
right? So probably need to play it some more to fully grasp it. But it was very it was very fast paced and intense, and kind of like, okay, what are you saying? What are you saying? Like,
Yeah.
give me the next
Yeah.
thing. Like,
It looks so fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
It felt
we
like the guy
had
with the thing like splashes.
I think we
Splashes.
had
Like, hearing
like
the torpedoes coming
4
to the water.
I think we had 4 full teams of it the one year at Origins. We ran it as a tournament, like literally like 2 head to head, and then those teams played head to head, and it's aggressive. Like don't let me be captain. That's a good call. It can be a very, very like chaos. And if you are fine leaning into the chaos of a game, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have no problem with that at all. It's just that first time for me was like, but I enjoyed it. It's just I need to play it some more. But again, like you said, Rachel, sometimes it's hard to get 8 people to agree on playing this particular type of game.
Yep,
You know,
for sure.
Right.
So, Bob, what do you got? Third pick?
Yeah. So this is I think we share this too. You actually in our board game
I probably
draft.
replaced it.
Yeah. Our board game draft, you actually drafted this right out from underneath of me, like the mean person that you are.
Oh yeah.
And that is one of my all-time favorite trick-taking games, Skull King. This
yo ho ho.
as again, these games that I'm showing you, they go everywhere with me. This is actually, I'd say this is probably my, if I had to guess, like 13th or 14th copy of this game.
You're insane with that game.
Because
like he loses
it's so
them all.
cheap. It's like $12, right? With like the discount code on Amazon.
Yep.
So I play it so much that it gets so much wear on the cards, right? So when they start looking like dirty and there's nothing else you can do with them, I get
you
rid
could
of
sleeve them.
That's too much. Not gonna fit in the box. They're not gonna fit in the box, man. You know, don't get me wrong. I'll sleeve some things, but you know, it's just not gonna fit in the box. And I just like how little the box is.
I do. Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
And yeah, we just play it so much that when it's time, I just buy another copy. You know,
I love it. Yep.
Yeah.
Keeping Grandpa Beck in business since 2018.
Yeah. I mean, it's deserving of that. Their games, man, are just cover your
The first
assets.
time I played that one, the first time I played Skull King was actually on Savranti.
Oh, nice.
Play that on digital platforms.
Yes. Yep.
We had
I've
Danny
actually played it
here,
on Savranti.
We had Danny on here 2 weeks ago. We were talking about that, and it's a fun implementation on there.
Yeah.
My next one I'm going to go with is kind of what a lot of people play at Gihan's. I don't. I got to reach for this one. I don't as much anymore because I feel like my time is filled with more meetings and talking to people. But I know there are a lot of people that like to play heavy games at conventions.
Oh yeah. Oh
right?
My goodness.
So if you've got time, this is a great. But if you've got time, conventions, depending on the convention, can be a good way to just sit down and play a heavy game. Right. Play 1 or 2 Lacerda games. That's your whole day, right? But for a lot of people, this is a great way to not only get introduced to these kind of games, but to say, hey, I have nothing else going on today, right? I don't have the distraction of the kid, not the distraction of work or something. Like, we're here, let's play these games. And I played some really fun, heavy games. We played Food Chain Magnate last year at Origins. We may have found a place to play at 2:00 in the morning that no one found us in. But we played Food Chain with 5 players at 2 a.m. and it works. And heavy games are a thing at conventions. If you're looking for them, there are people that want to play them. If you're looking for those opportunities,
for sure.
Oh, this thing's so heavy. All right, number 4.
All right, my turn.
Yes.
Let's see here. At Geekway last year, I had the opportunity to play the Night Cage with Kurt from Smirk and Dagger. Nice. And it is one of the most immersive, interesting co-ops that I've ever played. Nice. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or anything, but
I've heard of it. Haven't played it.
It's a co-op where you are in a dungeon and you just wake up there and all you have is a candle. And then, so you can only see 4 tiles around you. And as you move, 1 tile disappears and the next one appears. And it could be a monster that blows out your candle. And then you can't see anything and everything disappears. And you're trying to find a key and then the gate at the same time, like, and get all 4 or 5, because it does play quite a few and it's all cooperative. You're trying to find all of those by the time the candle runs out of wax, which the candle is this really cool tower, almost looks like a dice tower, but it's a tile tower. And every time you pull a tower, then the candle pull a tile, the candle gets shorter.
Yep.
And
Nice.
it's a 50-minute game. He says 50 minutes because it's very specific. And he has a 50-minute soundtrack that
Oh,
he made on
that's awesome.
Spotify that
Yep.
is so creepy and amazing.
Yeah,
It is
they
like
went all out on the deluxe. Yeah.
scared
Awesome.
all the time. It's so good.
Yeah. The deluxe has it actually has little candles like in
Mhm.
the deluxe that you actually play the game with. There's little the LED candles.
Yes.
It has those, and they have pewter like miniatures for the game as well. Like so,
So
the
cool.
play mats are really nice. So Kurt and the company went all out on the deluxe for that. So
Awesome.
really helps you like get into the feeling.
Immersive.
Yeah.
And I really
that's
think, if my memory serves me correctly, that was Night Cage got picked up because it won a designers competition. I think it was Cardboard Edison. It didn't have any other designs. He won the competition and then got a contract with Kurt.
That's awesome. I love it.
Mhm.
Nice.
Bob, yourself, number 4.
Oh, number 4. Okay, so I'm gonna do a combo here because sometimes I can't pick which one of these actually needs to be played. And another thing that I think that goes really well with a convention is rolling rights or flipping rights.
Yep.
Just because it supports a lot of players, everybody gets their own. There's your own centralized place where you're doing the rolling or the card flipping, and then everybody has their own little sheet that they're all working on, right? So if need be, you can actually sit at a separate table and just look over and see. They're conducive to a lot of players, right? So the two that I'm actually going to say are Fleet, the dice game, and Three Sisters.
Solid.
So I like everything and anything that Matt and Ben are doing. And these Three Sisters is the latest. I think Motor City is coming soon. And they released that on their own with their own game, with their own publishing company. But that is not out for public yet. But this Three Sisters is the latest one that's out. And these are just phenomenal. I love these two games.
So good.
And again, when I go to reach for a roll and write of this ilk, of this like style, right? It's flip a coin for me. So if I can fit both of them in my box, I take both of them in my box. If I can't, then I have to. Which one am I going to take? But yeah,
just make them both fit in a box. It's fine. Just make them both fit in one box.
Yeah, both fit in one box. I could probably do that. I'd probably take out some of the inserts, but then I don't get to see the really cool artwork on the box and stuff.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's very important to me.
My number 4 is one Bob introduced us to. It's a small box game. It's always in his bag. My copy never leaves my bag. That's No Thanks. Quick, simple, easy. Plays 3 to 7, right? And again, like I like these games that don't exclude, right? Oh, sorry, we're playing 4. No, we got 7. Who wants to join us, right? And it's a 15-minute game. Just wait a few minutes. If you're not in, you're in on the next one, right? So, No Thanks is a nice, easy, quick card game.
Yep.
All right, last one. Number 5. Last one. What do you got?
It's amazing how much I've waffled and changed this list as we've been
we're going through.
I do it every time we're on the show.
Like, look at this. It's like go and then like yeah, okay. Because obviously there's a lot of games that are awesome to play at cons, but I was gonna say Shobu but that's just I can swoon about Shobu anytime. What I think is a good one for you to play at a convention is Star Realms. Yes, because that gets you into tournament play, which gets you into, you can win prizes. That changes your con experience. You can become more active in the community that way because if you're participating in a tournament, you get to know people.
Yep.
For sure.
I think that that's a really cool way to interact with a company. And that's how you get to know, like as a publisher, you get to know your fans that way. I think that and for people who have not played Star Realms, which is like probably one person ever, but uh it is a deck building game, and it is real simple. You start with like a basic hand of money and damage, and then you pull from the market and try and improve your hand, and then scrap to get rid to streamline it, and then just you're hitting the other guy, like one on one. They've got
Yep.
50 points and you got 50 points and you just beat them, like. And it's really fun. And one thing that's really nice is that before you go to a convention, because a lot of people, they are a little nervous before they try a new game, especially if it's going to be in a tournament, and they have an online version where you can play, and it's you get to know it really well, in
Nice,
in a
easy way.
very
Yep.
chill way, for sure.
Yeah, that's a sweet app too.
It is. I play
Yeah.
it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even work for him anymore, and I play it all the time.
I love it.
Yeah.
Bob, here's your last one. What do you got? You steal another one from me?
Yeah, well, I know since we talked beforehand that this is a this is a shared.
It is. This is our number 5 together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is our number 5 together. This game is not out yet. However, I have
Maybe
taken
Origins.
it to
So bougie.
3 different conventions. The first time I was introduced to this game was at a convention in Atlanta, Southern Fried Gaming Expo,
Mhm.
which is a growing convention down here.
Mhm.
And Chad Elkins from 25th Century
25th.
is a big part of that convention in Atlanta.
Yep.
home territory, right?
Right.
Yep.
And he brought some prototypes out. I think this was probably, I think it was 2020 or maybe 2021. I don't even know. All the years they run together now,
Somewhere
right?
in there.
Somewhere in the
Time is
last
meaningless.
smush
time is
of
meaningless.
3 years. Somewhere in that time, he brought this prototype out, and we played this game with, it was me, Ryan, Aaron, everybody from Tantrum House, and Chad, a whole bunch of other people, and we played for the whole entire night. And that is a game called Green Team Wins. And it's gonna take the party it's gonna take the party game world by storm.
Somehow you summoned Chad into the chat.
Yeah.
Too,
Did
That's
I?
crazy.
He's there. He's just of course. He just got here.
Top
Good
games to
timing.
play.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, this game is just going to, it's a party game, and
It is.
it's probably one of the best party games I've ever played.
Yep.
It is from the team that designed what is the game, Chad?
Medium.
Oh.
Yes. So it is from the team.
Nathan Thornton.
Yes, that designed Medium, and this is called Green Team Wins. And every single time we've brought this out in any capacity, at a convention, at a private party, wherever, the room just erupts. And this game will cause so much table crosstalk and lighthearted disagreement.
Or not lighthearted, depending on the
or not lighthearted, yes. And it is just a riot.
Yep.
And
it's gonna be amazing.
Is going to be absolutely amazing when this hits the convention floor. I think there might be limited copies coming out at Gen Con, right?
I think August is release date. So.
Yeah. So
he'll have it. I assume he's gonna have it at Origins demo, so you'll be able to check it out.
He has to be carrying around a copy with him at Origins. So
yeah, it is a loud game.
Yes,
it plays to I don't even know how you played it to, but yeah, I've played it with like 35 people.
I think at Origins we did like 15.
Yeah, we were pushing close to 20 at one point.
Yeah, and then at
with that
PAX
prototype.
Unplugged, I think we probably pulled off about the same.
Yeah, somewhere in
That
there.
table with the Swartzes, Josh and
Yep.
Heather,
With Ryan
Derek and
Sheen in
Lizzie.
there. Yep.
Yeah, there was like 20 of us, I think. And man, so at that point, when you play the game, you almost need an MC. So
Yep. One
I
person asking.
became a lot of times I like to take on that responsibility. I've seen Isaac take on that
Oh yeah,
responsibility as
yeah.
well.
We can do that well.
So yeah, it is just so fun. Like I cannot wait. I've waited too long for this freaking game to hit the shelves. Chad,
Agreed.
you need to hurry up, dude.
Oh, I'm sure he's feeling the same.
Yeah, I know. I
Oh,
know
there
he
you
is.
go. There's his answer right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice.
Last thing, trying to get some FedExed for
FedExed, okay.
Origins. Limited
All right, well
amount.
then I'm challenging you guys then at the charity board gamer meetup on Thursday night.
Oh, I will
You
be
guys
there.
should run that
Yeah.
because
Ooh.
I would love to see that pulled
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
Do it, dude.
I'll
Yeah.
talk to Chad. I'll make sure he hides a copy for me.
Yep.
I'll put it right in my bag. But yeah,
Sounds
it's
great.
great. And that's my number 5. It's solid. It's great. I don't think we go a show without talking about Green Team
I
wins.
know. It's ridiculous. I talk about it way too much, man. It just needs
Yeah,
to come out already so everybody else can experience what
yeah.
like
So we can stop being hipsters with Green Team
Yeah.
wins.
Yeah, right.
We need other people to know about it too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap up. We're hitting that hour. We got one last thing we like to share is like what's hit your table recently? What have you been playing? What have you enjoyed? Don't need to go into a huge amount of detail with it, but like what's hit your table? What have you enjoyed playing recently? Rachel, anything hitting your table? I know you're hitting in a busy time of year, but is there anything that's been recently on your table?
I am so boring. Oh my god. I feel terrible because I recently went to a board game cafe and I played Mintworks,
Okay.
Nice.
Star Realms, and
Solid.
Shobu.
So
Hey,
all solid choices.
That was my night. That was
So
my
you-
night. Like
You play
know
what
what
you
you like.
enjoy. You know what you
Yes.
like, right?
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
you
Well,
like.
and I was
Absolutely.
teaching somebody who hadn't ever played it before, so I
There you go.
definitely love to show people new stuff that I feel passionate
Yeah.
about. So
It's awesome.
Oh, I feel that. Yep. For sure.
Bob, one thing that's hit your table recently?
You know what I'm gonna say?
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Let's say Planet Unknown.
Yep, playing.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Yep.
That game is beyond ridiculous. So right now, Arc Nova is the #1 game that I have played this year.
Yep.
Mhm.
But Planet Unknown is slowly creeping
1.5
into that.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like Arc Nova's here. It's like climbing up. Like it's like no. But man, Planet Unknown, holy moly, that game is insane. The 6-player asynchronous play. So there is literally no player downtime in that game at all. Everyone
Nice.
is taking a turn at the same exact time every single time. It is just really, really fun game. I don't want to go into crazy detail, but if you can get a hold of a copy of Planet Unknown or at least find someone who has it and play it, please play that game.
Yep,
It's
I
so
bought-
good.
He talked me
That's
into
what I'm
buying
hearing
one of the
too.
few copies left on GameFound here recently. So
Yeah, you just
sitting
bought
out-
one, right?
Yeah, it's
Nice.
sitting in my front room. I can't wait to crack it
Nice.
open after this.
Nice.
So one thing I played recently, I recently got for my wife for Mother's Day. She loves all of the Azul games, so I got her the new Azul, the
Ooh,
Queen's Garden. It's fun. It feels like Azul, but it doesn't feel like Azul. And I love what they've done. They've got some of the similar mechanics. It's a planet out game, right? Think through your turns, a Calico, Cascadia type of game. So if you like games like that, they're abstract, they're thinky, you like what what Plan B has done with Azul. This is right up there. Summer Pavilion, still my favorite Azul. Followed by Classic. This one's probably gonna creep right into that, number 1 or number 2 spot also. So super solid.
Awesome.
So where can we find people? Do you have Ryan usually kicks the little where to find? Oh,
What?
perfect. Yeah, there you go.
Ryan,
Thank
get
you.
out of here, man. I got this.
Ryan says, "Where can we find you, Isaac?" I
Where
say,
can we
"Well,
find you, Isaac?
well, thank you, Bob, for queuing me up with that. You can find us
Call me
over at
Ryan.
Gaming with Sidekicks at all of our different channels: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. We are active in all the little areas. Come find us. As I'm getting ready to travel to Origins here in just a few weeks, we will have stuff live from the floor. Ryan and I plan on securing one of those times for the media room and doing this live from the one of those cool looking rooms that we saw here recently. So hopefully we'll have some live Origins content.
Awesome. I like hearing that.
Yes. Bob, where can we find One Word Family?
Well, I'm right here. Like okay, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
In the social
So
universe. There we go.
yeah, all over the other place. So yeah, we're on all the Twitters, all the Facebooks, all the social medias, TikToks. I even do TikTok now.
Yep,
I started
MySpace.
doing some cool stop motion stuff on TikTok. I got some more videos coming up soon. But YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff at One Board Family, always at One Board Family. That's where you can find us.
Excellent. Rachel, thank you again
Yes,
for joining us.
Thank you,
No
Rachel.
problem.
Thank you.
And we can find you in all of our Origins updates.
Absolutely. I talk at you all the time, and whether or not you realize it's me, it's talking at you. Yeah, originsgamefair.com, also gamma.org. Originsgamefair.com, it's very, very informative, and we literally add pages like every day. I mean, there's so much more stuff coming out all the time that just today I was like, hey Greg, make a new page, and he's like, here, now there's a page. So it is so constant how much work is coming out all the time, so check it over and over and over again.
Awesome.
Love it.
Awesome.
Thank you once again for joining us, Rachel. Bob, thanks for filling in for Ryan. We appreciate everybody joining us here at the Game Chat, and have a great evening.
See you guys.
See you.